What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner, man. Today we're going to talk about Kanye West and the I say stupid comments he made this past weekend, man, about Harriet Tubman, of all people. Don't miss Harriet Tubman, Kanye. He basically said Harriet Tubman didn't actually free the slaves. She just had them go work for other white people. Now, when I heard this, my whole stomach just cringed. You even heard the people in the audience, like their tone just went a whole nother route, right? It, you know, this was garbage, man. Come on, Kanye. Like, what are you doing stuff for shock value now? I mean, like, you are dead. You're dead to hip hop right now. People ain't really messing with you. They don't care about the kind of music you're gonna put out. I don't care if you put out music that's gonna change the world. And this is hard for people who are hip hop fans. People, you gotta understand. Kanye put out Through the Wire. He put out, you know, Testify. He put out Jesus Walks. You know, he put out the Slow Jams joint. You know, he put out man, so many hits. All Falls Down. I mean, he put out a bunch of hits, man. Can't Tell Me Nothing. You know, so I actually wrote a book, guys. You guys know. Can You Love Me? A Memoir Tribute. It's my first book I wrote. And each chapter is a track, right? And they got sub chapters, right? So it's 25 other sub chapters, and those 7 chapters plus the 25 sub chapters equals 32 songs. So those are like the 32 songs, which is like the soundtrack of my life. And Kanye has a song on there called Real Friends. And I put that in there because I love the song and I love what the song stands for. And it was perfect for that piece of my book and it represented that part of my life. However, you got to listen to the song, Kanye. Like, Real Friends, man. People, you are not a real friend anymore. You are not a real friend anymore, man. Like, you are a deadbeat cousin, you know? You're a deadbeat cousin. Like, that's what Kanye says at the top of the song. He says, I'm a deadbeat cousin. I hate family reunions. You know, I'm not going to say the rest because I don't want to curse online. But, yeah, you're a deadbeat cousin to us right now. Like, Harriet Tubman, man, if it wasn't for Harriet Tubman, there would not be a lot of, you know, slaves who were freed through the Underground Railroad, you know, to become free citizens, to make it up north. You know, let's keep it real, man. Like, she is a pioneer. Like, she should be plastered everywhere in America. She should be on money. She should be on buildings. She should be in everything. That is Harriet freaking Tubman, Kanye. For you to make a statement like that, it shows you how lost you are. It shows you how delusional you are. It is sad. It's a sad day to see a guy like Kanye, who was, let's be honest, guys, when Kanye first came out, one of the most socially conscious rappers. And he was the guy that was literally taking over everything. You know, you had Jay-Z, who was like the mega everything, and his little brother basically was Kanye, right? He came underneath Rockefeller Records. You know, if you guys know anything about Kanye, a hell of a producer, and that's where he made his music. And well, that's where he made his money at. First off, was the production side of the house, and he produced a lot of hits for, you know, Jay-Z. Produced hits for, you know, Scarface and Beanie Siegel and Nas. He's produced hits for everybody. The Game, you name it, he's produced hits for. And so he is like a rap legend if he could just keep his mouth shut, you know. And I just don't understand, you know, what is this for? I know he's trying to run for president in 2020, but you know, the shock value thing is not right. I don't know. Usually when Kanye does stupid stuff like this, it's because he has some music about to drop. So I'm guaranteeing you probably an album's coming out probably in a week or two. But you got to pick and choose your battles, Kanye. Like, this is horrible, man. Like, we're talking Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman, all people. And then at the time that you did this, like, John Lewis just passed away this weekend. The man who is civil rights mega everything when it came to civil rights. Anytime you saw Dr. Martin Luther King, you saw John Lewis next to him. John Lewis almost got killed at the march in Selma, Bloody Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you make a comment on the weekend of his death that Harriet Tubman didn't actually free slaves. She just had them go work for other white people, which is straight crazy. Like, last time I checked, Kanye was signed to a few labels who are owned and distributed by white people. So what are you saying about yourself? Now, who would ever thought, guys, 15 years ago, the whole Kim Kardashian, Ray J situation, who would ever thought that 15 years later, we will be saying more and thinking more of Kim Kardashian as far as being somebody who is a socially conscious person than Kanye West. Like, this is, and she's married to this man. So, yeah, like, who would have ever thought that we would be saying Kim Kardashian is more socially aware than her husband, Kanye West. Kim Kardashian is working behind the scenes. She's trying to get a law degree. I don't, kudos to her for that. She is getting people out of prison who have served lengthy terms, who have been overcharged. Some people who have potentially been wrongfully accused. She is getting people out of jail who have served 20, 25 years for a simple charge that they should not have gotten that much time for. Like, I commend her for that. Like, that is amazing. No matter what you think about the Kardashian family or what, you have to give props where props is due, and Kim Kardashian is doing the damn thing with that. And she has a nutcase for a husband. Who would ever thought we'd be saying Kim Kardashian has a nutcase for a husband who could be dragging her down? You remember it wasn't too long ago that she was dating Reggie Bush, and people were like, I can't believe he's dating her because he's like here and she's up and coming, but she had a video out and it's got to be embarrassing. Nobody even cares about the video anymore, guys. Like, nobody cares about that. But what people do care about is how amazing she is and what she has done to help people. And not just people, she's helping people of color, guys, because I think now that she sees, like, she has mixed kids, like, her kids could be profiled, so, when they walk out, people don't look at them as mixed. We were mixed. They look just black. I mean, it is what it is. We had a mixed president, Barack Obama, and raised by white women. But when you see him outside, he's a black man. And so I think she realized that, and she has really pushed the line to try to help people get out of prison who are overcharged, the whole nine. And she has been very successful in doing that. Kudos to Kim Kardashian. But Kanye West, when you have a wife that is doing so many great things for America, so many great things for people who look like you, Kanye West, you could be doing so much more, but you make a stupid comment that Harriet Tubman did not free the slaves. She just had them go work for other white people. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, Kanye. And to that note, I'm done with Kanye. I'm done with you, Kanye. Like, real friends, no, you're a deadbeat cousin to me. That means don't come to the family reunion no more. Don't bring the potato salad. I don't want to eat the ribs that you tried to smoke that didn't come out right. I don't want the baked beans that you bring to the family reunion. I don't want none of that. You a deadbeat cousin. Stay a deadbeat and go. We don't need you anymore. We don't want you anymore. You are what we have tried to get past for years, and people like you bring us down. Don't want you no more, Kanye. You're done with me. I'm done with you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of America feels the same way. Harriet Tubman just isn't a great American for black people. She's a great American for all people. She stood up against the system and made her way to go get people free when she didn't have to. She could have easily died out there saving people. What have you done, Kanye, to put your life on the line to save people? Not a damn thing. All you do is make music, and you're a great entertainer. I'll give you that. But you got to understand, man, that if it wasn't for Harriet Tubman, you might not be standing or rapping or even having the opportunity to run for president in 2020 because of women like her. She did her thing so that you could do your thing. You better pay some respect to that woman. Let's go to commercial break, man. All right, guys, and we're back, man. Back from the commercial break. So talking about Kanye and Harriet Tubman, and Harriet Tubman freeing a bunch of slaves, and her being just a pillar of success when it comes to just being a true American. She is a true hero. She is a true hero. She is amazing. She is a hero, unlike Kanye West. But in saying all this, guys, I started to think about some things, and I started to listen to a few podcasts this morning, and I heard something about about Colin Powell, who said that he never even thought about the bases, like the Army installations, are named after Confederate generals and soldiers. And me being a kid, that my stepfather's Army, and so I ended up actually moving to Fort Hood when I was 13 years old. And I never ever knew the history about Fort Hood and all these other bases that are named after Confederate generals. And Colin Powell made the same basic statement. He basically said that he never even thought about it, because at that moment when you're going through that, you don't really, when you're going through the training and everything, when you're not aware of that, you don't think about it. So if you're at Fort Hood, and I just realized this today that Fort Hood, which is in Killeen, Texas, where I went to high school at, it's named after Confederate General John Bell Hood, who's best known for commanding the Texas Brigade during the American Civil War. So he's a Confederate general, all right? And so, to be honest, the South, the whole Civil War, everybody knows, was basically over slaves and, freeing slaves and whatnot. Even though the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation never did free the slaves. There were slaves that were still, enslaved after that was signed, up to 2 years after that, if not longer. But it was for the slave labor. They wanted to continue to fight to keep slaves. And so these bases, which I'm going to name, guys, Fort Benning, Fort Bragg, which is in North Carolina, Fort Gordon, which is in Grovetown, Georgia, Fort A.P. Hill, which is in Bowling Green, Virginia, Fort Hood, like I just said, Fort Lee is in Prince George County, Virginia, Fort Pickard, it's in Blackstone, Virginia, Fort Polk, which is in Leesville, Louisiana. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana originally, so we call it Leesville. Fort Rucker, which is in Dale County, Alabama. I've been there for a bunch of training. And Camp Maxey's in Paris, Texas, Camp Pendleton, Virginia Beach, and Camp Bogart. Man, all those were named after Confederate generals, man. So just think about that. I never even realized that. Like, when people used to ask me, where you from? I say, hey, man, I'm from Fort Hood, when I was in high school and college. And now that I look at it, it's because I was just unaware. I did not know that Fort Hood was named after a Confederate general. I just didn't know. Like, I was ignorant to that fact. Now that when you become more aware, you start to understand, like, wow, like, I trained at Fort Rucker. I trained at Fort Rucker down in Alabama for a combat program I had to, go to prior to going to Afghanistan on my last trip in 14. So you're looking at Fort Rucker, okay, Dale County, Alabama, named for Edmund Rucker, a colonel appointed acting brigadier general in November 1864, but whose promotion went unconfirmed. This was a Confederate general. A Confederate colonel. So just think about that for a minute. I trained on the base that was named after a Confederate colonel who wanted to have people that looked like me enslaved so that the South could still remain having that labor for free. And when you think about that for a minute, you're like, wow, I can't believe it. I just never thought about it. And like Colin Powell said, this past weekend, it's just some things that you don't think about when you're not really just up on that. Like, guys, you gotta understand, when you're in the military, you're so go, 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 go. You don't really realize some of the things. You're so focused on the mission that those details can become very minute details in the day-to-day things. Like when you're going to Afghanistan, I've been to Afghanistan twice, guys. I've been to Iraq also. That's like the last thing in my mind is what Fort Hood was named for. But when you come back and you sit back at home and you listen to it and you're like, wow, like I lived on a base that was named after a Confederate general who didn't want people like me to prosper. Wow. Who fought to keep people like me from prospering. And now here I am serving as a military member, on those installations. And my stepfather was a military member, and yeah, it's just weird when you see the whole dynamic. And I never knew that, and I'm in the military. So it's just about being aware, man. Yeah, so when Colin Powell said that, it really hit home for me, because a lot of people didn't realize that until things started to happen and people started to talk about it. So the best thing, guys, I'm gonna leave this on, I'm gonna leave this on the last note. Be informed. Be informed, man. Be informed of what's out there. And just because you're informed and you have a certain point on, or a certain way that you're going to swing on an issue, it just is what it is, man. But just be informed. And so with me being informed, just like Colin Powell said that he was finally informed of that, it just puts a little bit more light on the situation. And man, so it's very eye-opening to know that I've trained and I've lived on bases that are named after people who didn't want to see me be where I'm at today. And I'll leave that to you guys. That's my last one I'm gonna have for tonight, guys. But on that, guys, man, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, man, my cameras keep sliding. First episode, the first wave of this episode, Kanye, be better. Second wave, man, just be informed. On that note, guys, do you, man. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance, man. NinosCorner out. Salute. Love you guys.